So not long ago I got me this box set with 3 movies by Mario Bava, and it's a French release Blu-ray, and the films are Bay of Blood, Hatchet for a Honeymoon, and The Whip and the Body. It's from a label called ESC Editions. It's region B locked, and it's an English friendly release. There is English audio, only no English subs. And these 3 films are some of my favorite Mario Bava films, especially Hatchet for the Honeymoon. I think this is really underrated and extremely original, and a film which is worth, it's not only worth discovering, but it's also worth revisiting, because there is a lot there. And not just on the surface, not just visually, but I think the story, however simple it may appear on the surface, is actually quite original. It's a riff on Hitchcock's Psycho, but ironically I saw Hatchet before I saw Psycho. I saw it really as a teenager on VHS, and immediately I thought, wow, what a pretty film to look at. As usual, Mario Bava took care of the visuals himself, and it's a magnificent film to behold. It was a co-production with Barcelona, so some of it was shot in Spain. But besides the love of the visuals, there is that very tormented, very odd central character played by Stephen Forsythe, who's really good in the role. He's been in a few other European genre films, like he did a Western with Riccardo Freda, but I think in this film Stephen Forsythe is really good. And then there is also Laura Betti as his wife. Hatchet for the Honeymoon is not violent, but it can, I think some people might find it disturbing, because the character is really not right in the head, and the way we are supposed to side with the character as the story develops is something odd. I don't think Hollywood does that a lot, siding with the deviant character, but here it's not a Hollywood film, it's something very European, very continental, so I love that film. And then there is a film from the 60s, The Whip and the Body, with a tiny little cameo by Christopher Lee, who gets killed very quickly and then briefly pops up throughout the film, and then he gets top billing. He's not in the film all that much, and in the English version he doesn't have his own voice, so you be warned. But nevertheless, Christopher Lee does the job very well. And then there is Dalia Lavi as the female protagonist. Not just a beautiful couple, but this is also again a portrayal of a twisted relationship, the same as with Hatchet and Hatchet for the Honeymoon. Both films are a bit more relationship centric than other Mario Bava films, the stories. They both try and explore unusual couples, I would say, and they succeed. It's candy colored. The Whip and the Body has that, I guess, typical Mario Bava look, with some spotlights, with some very warm, glowing light, and then some cold light mixed within the same scene. And it's quite a slow moving film, and it's a typical European Gothic in that the sets, almost like in a Hammer horror, the sets are very obviously fake. So there is that artificial beauty to it, which reminds you of, I guess, Hammer horrors. And then it might remind you again a little bit of Tobe Hooper's movie Eaten Alive, where again it was all shot on a soundstage. The great thing about The Whip and the Body is the score. It's a beautiful score. Let me see, I can't remember who did the music. So The Whip and the Body it's a slow moving film, and it has a fairly wooden performance from the leading man Luciano Stella, known as Tony Kendall. He's good looking, but he's completely expressionless throughout. But then there is a great turn supporting role by Luciano Pigozzi, Alan Collins. So I rate it highly. It's a very decent Mario Bava with some gorgeous moments, and definitely there is a morbid quality to the film, and there is an interesting twist on the central character's relationship, which makes it stand out and makes it quite a daring film for its vintage. And the most acclaimed film from this pack is Bay of Blood, the proto slasher with like a dozen kills, I guess, in the film. Quite graphic kills for its time. It's all set in one location by the water. It's shot in the winter time by the lake, and the characters are teenagers, so there is a lot of superficial kind of chatter from them before they start getting slaughtered, which works as a blueprint for the Friday the 13th franchise. The beauty of the Bay of Blood is it's absurd, yet it hangs together. There is some a little bit of pretentiousness in this film, and then the allusions and quotes which the screenwriter Sacchetti has inserted into a very blatant and blatantly commercial story. These allusions are quite highbrow, so there is that mixture of intellectualism and just pure simple entertainment, which almost reminds me a little bit of Jess Franco, who was also fond of kind of throwing everything into the pot, you know, comic books, erotica, you know, citations from Marquis de Sade and so on. Bay of Blood has includes a supporting part by Gianmaria Volonté's brother called Claudio Volonté, and he's this really creepy, I don't know, he's like a handyman gardener, so he has an unforgettable face, and I think he had in real life quite a dramatic life. And then again there is Laura Betti, once again, who used to work with Pasolini. This is probably the most entertaining and fast-paced of the three films in this collection. Also included on this Blu-ray is the alternative Italian edit of the film, but it's from an SD master, so it doesn't look great. The image quality is, the whites are all blown out, and so yeah, I prefer the standard edit, which benefits from an HD source and looks decent for a film coming from 1971. So, you know, when Dario Argento's Animal trilogy was all the rage, then Mario Bava came up with this little shocker, Bay of Blood. So this was just my very brief overview of some of Mario Bava's more accessible and worthwhile films from late 60s and early 70s. They are together in this box set from ESC Editions. Mario Bava. We'll be talking more Mario Bava soon for sure. Bye bye.